Hello there, I'm Ronnie. Welcome to week 1 of term 3. Gosh, this week we've got lots to get through. We've got a heap of prizes to give away. Over $500 worth of prizes. In fact, this term we've got a fabulous prize pack from Gordon Harris that's got an easel and some canvases and paints and paintbrushes, even claymation modelling clay. It's fabulous. We've got books to give away. We've got heaps going on. We've got a story about words being silly. We've got a story about a mousetrap. We've got the When Am I game. We've got Norbert and Milo. It's a cartoon and it's fabulous. We've got a song about a donkey and we've got a birthday party for an alien. But first of all, let's kick it off. Words, aren't they a bit weird?
I once blew a blue kazoo, once read a red magazine. I once saw a man saw some wood, and I've been and seen a bean. I once wondered whether the weather was fine, while sharing a shearing shed. Once sailed on a sail to witness a sail, then spoke of spokes instead. I waited and waited for my weight to drop. I lie while I lie down. I saw a bird soar through the sky, then it flew through the chimney's flue. I ate and I ate a delicious number 8. I bowed at the bough of a tree. I calculated pi with a slice of pie, and I threw something through the air. I meet some meat, I tire of tires. I write right-handed, and left my left alone. I ran to Iran.
Crikey, words are a bit silly, aren't they? Hello, I'm Ronnie. This is That's the Story. And boy, have we got some prizes to give away this term. Over $500 worth to be exact. So, I want you to put your thinking cap on. I'm going to play you a story now. And at the end of it, I've got a chance for you to win $100 worth of art supplies. Listen to the story.
Jack didn't know what to do. He watched the mouse appear from under one of the ovens, whiskers first, twitching and looking for danger, before it headed across the kitchen. The mouse looked at him too. It stood up on its back legs and sniffed the air, fixing its shiny black eyes on Jack, before it darted off towards the storeroom. Jack looked up at his grandfather, busy kneading dough as he always did when Jack came to the bakery after school. He would spend hours pulling and pushing the sticky, puffy dough, listening to Jack's stories and hardly saying a word. Jack wondered whether to tell his grandfather about the mouse. What would he do if he did? Set down poison for it, probably. And Jack would find the cold, stiff body of the mouse when he helped open the bakery one day. What would happen if Jack didn't tell? He didn't think grandfather would notice one little mouse, because he couldn't see very far without his glasses. He'd been making bread for so long that he was only used to looking as far as the dough, and he just didn't see much past that point. Mind you, he would certainly notice if any mouse poo got into his loaves. He would stalk around the shop and the kitchen, with his head lowered as far as it would go, squinting his eyes for signs of the mouse. One of his customers might see the mouse and run shrieking from the shop. Then the health inspectors would come to the bakery in their dark glasses, white coats and breathing masks, and they would take grandfather away in a white van with bars on the sides. Jack screwed his forehead up, thinking, perhaps if he left the mouse where it was, it would find a mate and have babies. Jack knew that mice could have lots of babies at a time. His friend Huia's pet mouse once had 14 babies when she was on holiday. She came back to find them all crammed into the little cage. And Jack was good enough at maths to know that if a mouse could have that many babies in one sitting, it wouldn't be long before the entire bakery floor was filled up with mice. Someone was bound to notice that. By now, the mouse had almost entirely disappeared into the storeroom. Just the end of its tail was visible, poking out between a sack of wholemeal flour and a big box of paper bags. Jack figured that it must have chewed a hole in the flour sack and was helping itself. Oh no, grandfather would surely see a hole in one of his sacks. So Jack decided to prevent the mouse from being poisoned and to stop the customers seeing increasing numbers of mice, he would have to catch it and let it go in the fields. He'd have to build a mousetrap, one that caught it but didn't kill it, and he'd have to work fast. As soon as Jack got home, he put a ruler, some sticky tape, a reel of sewing cotton, some paper, and a small block of cheese from the fridge into his school bag. On the way out of the front door, he very quietly took the bakery keys from the bowl by the telephone. He really hoped that no one would notice they were missing. Jack ran back to the bakery, went round to the back of the shop and unlocked the door. He swung it open and stopped, quietly looking and listening for any signs of mouse activity. And sure enough, he heard a faint scratching noise coming from the storeroom. The mouse hadn't budged. Greedy little pig. Jack emptied his bag out onto the kitchen floor and set to work. First of all, he taped the ruler to one of the legs of the big metal kitchen table, near the top, so that it poked out into mid-air. Next, he rolled and taped the paper up into 3 tubes and arranged them carefully and quietly in a sort of curvy line coming from the storeroom towards the table. He split the block of cheese into 3 lumps and put one at the end of each tube, hoping to lure the mouse down the tubes towards the table. The last and most important piece of the trap involved Jack borrowing a sieve from the bakery kitchen. He stood on the chair to reach the rack where all the utensils were hanging, grabbed the handle of the sieve and hopped back down off the chair. He turned the sieve upside down so that it was bulging upwards like a strange wire mesh hat, and carefully threaded the sewing cotton through the holes so that the sieve could be suspended from the ruler, which, remember, was taped to the table leg, low enough so that you could see that it was directly over the last piece of cheese, but not so low that the mouse would notice. It was almost set up. The mouse would come down the tubes, guided by the pieces of cheese, until it stopped to eat the last piece. Jack would let go of the reel of cotton and the sieve would fall, trapping the mouse. Easy, Jack thought. Holding onto the reel of cotton, Jack retreated underneath the kitchen table into the shadows. All he had to do now was wait. "Come out, little mouse, smell the cheese," Jack kept repeating in his head. And sure enough, the mouse poked its nose back out of the storeroom and sniffed the air. Jack froze, trying not to breathe too loudly. The sieve hovered in mid-air, waiting for its prey. The mouse didn't look twice at the paper tubes which Jack had carefully arranged. Instead, it headed straight for the last piece of cheese, the one underneath the sieve. Before Jack had time to react, the mouse had picked up the piece of cheese in its mouth and run out of the open back door. Jack dropped the thread, making the sieve bang down onto the floor, and ran after the mouse. He saw it disappearing off towards the fields. Jack hadn't thought that the mouse would be so clever. Jack cleared up the failed mousetrap and went home. He never saw the mouse again, and Grandfather never did figure out why one of his sieves had a piece of sewing cotton attached to it.
Okay, a mousetrap, eh? Draw me a picture of what you think would be the perfect mousetrap. Send it in to me. Get your teacher to take a photo of it and head for our website. That's thestory.co.nz. Click on Contact Us and send me your picture of the perfect mousetrap from there. Once every 2 weeks, I'll draw a winner and you'll win a $100 art pack from Gordon Harris. Now, speaking of competitions, when am I? Here come some clues. From those clues, I want you to try and guess when I'm talking about.
When in history am I?
On January the 6th of this year, King Harold I of England is crowned. On April the 24th, Halley's Comet sparks English monk to predict country will be destroyed. And on December the 25th, William the Conqueror is crowned King of England at Westminster Abbey. Henry IV was the Holy Roman Emperor.
When in history am I?
Do you reckon you know when that is? I reckon that one was an easy one. If you think you know the answer, head for our website. That's thestory.co.nz. Click on Contact Us and send me your answer from there. Every week I'll draw a winner and you'll win one of these fantastic books. Now, let's have a cartoon. Norbert and Milo, these two are crazy.
Norbert and Milo's knock knock.
Hey Norbert. Hello Milo. Want to hear a knock knock joke? Yeah, go on then. Knock knock. Who's there? Who? Don't be silly Norbert. Who's don't have last names. Oh, really? Ha ha ha.
Told you they were crazy. We'll have another Norbert and Milo cartoon next week. In the meantime, let's have a song about a donkey. I wanna fly like a kite.
all day and all through the night. Way up in the sky, I'd like to fly. I wanna fly like a kite. But I'm a donkey, and I'm staying right here on the ground. I wanna swim like a fish. That's my one and only really big wish. I wanna keep cool in my very own pool. I wanna swim like a fish. But I'm a donkey, and I'm staying right here on the ground. I wanna be a monkey in a tree, swinging wild and free, up amongst the leaves in the afternoon breeze. A monkey's life's for me. But I'm a donkey, and I'm staying right here on the ground. Hee-haw.
Hello, I'm Ronnie. This is That's the Story. It's the classroom edition and we're having lots of fun. Don't forget to draw me a picture of your perfect mousetrap. Get your teacher to take a photo of it. Head for our website, that'sthestory.co.nz. Click on Contact Us. You can send your picture and from there I'll put your picture up on one of our future shows so everyone can see it. And once every couple of weeks I will draw a winner, and that winner will win $100 worth of art supplies from Gordon Harris. Now, let's have a birthday party for an alien.
James was hosting a birthday party. It wasn't just any old birthday party. This birthday party was an extra special birthday party, especially for James's secret alien friends. James had already had his real birthday party. That was last weekend, and all his aunties and uncles had come. James had been allowed to invite 8 of his bestest friends over, one friend for each year that he'd been alive. They'd had a brilliant treasure hunt organised by Uncle Dan, and James's friend Max had won first prize. That birthday party had been pretty good. But this birthday party was going to be even better because this time James's secret alien friends were beaming down for a visit. James's mum had allowed James to have the leftover birthday cake. James took the cake into the garden with a pile of serviettes, some plastic beakers and a bottle of his dad's homemade ginger beer. James spread out his feast under the big cherry tree and waited for his secret alien friends to arrive. They were due at 3. Suddenly, the leaves on the cherry tree rustled. A thin branch snapped, spraying bits of twig everywhere, and Sizor, from the planet Didge, burst through the branches.
Happy birthday, James!
She yelled.
Oh, for last Saturday, I mean. Here, I bought you a gift.
Sizor handed a small orange parcel to James, using one of her 23 claws. James held the small orange parcel in his hand. The parcel wriggled and jumped up and down.
Don't let it escape, James,
Sizor cried out. James held the small orange parcel between his thumb and forefinger. Thanks, it's, great, said James with a rather puzzled expression on his face. Before Sizor had a chance to elaborate on the unusual gift, a large blue bubble appeared just to the left of Sizor's right head. The blue bubble shimmered and shimmied in the afternoon sun, and then suddenly, and with an excruciatingly large bang, it burst open to reveal the semi-transparent form of Snouticus from the planet Alum.
Happy birthday, James,
said Snouticus, and rather coyly, James thought, handed James a flower via his serpent-like tail. James took the flower from Snouticus. It wasn't just any old flower. Like Snouticus himself, this flower was semi-transparent and shimmered a million different rainbow colours. However, as James admired the special flower all the way from the planet Alum, the flower opened its head and let out a shrill, piercing scream, and before James knew what was happening, the beautiful flower flopped over, turned grey, crumbled to dust, and blew out of James's hand on the soft summer breeze.
Oh dear,
said Snouticus.
I don't think it likes your air here.
Never mind, said James. It's the thought that counts. Come and sit down and have some ginger beer and cake. Sizor folded her 23 claws back into her marshmallow body and curled up under the cherry tree. Snouticus hovered just inches above the grass and curled his backward-bending knees up and under himself. The small orange parcel, still firmly held in James's left hand, giggled loudly, as if to make its presence known.
Oh,
said Sizor.
James, you haven't opened my present yet.
James uncurled his left hand. The small orange parcel jumped up and down again. But how do I unwrap it? James was confused.
Just pull the blue string, silly,
said Sizor. The small orange parcel turned around, revealing a small blue kind of tail. James tweaked it ever so gently, and whoosh! The parcel split open, revealing 100 shiny stars and a symphony of serene soft notes. A large pair of red lips emerged from the stars and made a beeline for James's cheek. The red lips kissed James with a loud smack. And instantly they disappeared.
Happy birthday again, James,
said Sizor as she tucked into James's leftover birthday cake. James was so glad that he got to have not only his real birthday party, but also his special secret birthday party with his very special secret alien friends. Now who's for ginger beer? Asked James.
That's my lot for another week. Thanks ever so much for joining me. Week 1, Term 3, done and dusted. Well done. Don't forget to send me your artwork of the perfect mousetrap. Draw a picture of what you think the perfect mousetrap could be. Get your teacher to take a photo of it, then pop along to our website, that'sthestory.co.nz. Click on Contact Us. You can send your picture in from there. I'll pop it up on one of our shows in the future. Every other week, I will draw a winner and they will win $100 worth of art supplies from Gordon Harris. Have a great week. I'll catch you again next week. Ka kite anō.
I wanna hear the one about the big old plum tree. I wanna hear the one about the giggly bumblebee. I wanna hear the one about the juggly jumping flea. That's the story that I wanna hear. That's the story, that's the story, that's the story that I wanna hear. That's the story, that's the story, that's the story that I wanna